I'm Jack Pike, part-time announcer here at WYHS and producer of Spectrum of Sound. I was privileged to grow up in a Christian home in Illinois where I attended church with my family every Sunday and Wednesday. When I was 14, our church had a series of gospel tent meetings near where I live. It lasted 6 weeks every night. During the 5th week on Thursday night, I remember sitting in the service and being very convicted about my sin and the cost of missing salvation. The house where we lived in is still there, and I could take you to the bedroom where I lay on my bed that night, laying on my right side, in fact, slipping out of bed on my knees and asking God to save me. That was August 6, 1964, and is still fresh in my mind.
From the studios of Azusa Pacific University, here's Dr. Jim Burns with today's Homeward Snapshot.
The first time I saw porn on the internet, I was 11.
I wasn't really looking for it. It just sort of popped up on the screen.
All my friends look at porn online. I think it's pretty stupid. I hate it when they send me that stuff.
Recent statistics indicate that as many as 90% of kids ages 8 to 16 have viewed pornography online during the last year, and most of the time they were doing their homework. I'm Jim Burns from Homeward.com. The majority of kids who get involved in using internet pornography either receive it accidentally from an unknown source or it is pushed to them in an email by a friend online. This is known as peer-to-peer networking, and it's a fact that 35% of all peer-to-peer downloads are related to porn. Talk to your kids about what could happen if they receive a pornographic email. And for a free copy of my tip sheet called 5 Things You Can Do Today to Internet Protect Your Kids, go to Homeward.com. I'm Jim Burns.
Well, good morning and a great big God bless you. The time is 6:36. I'm Teresa Daly, and we have Jack Pike in the studio.
Good morning.
But I really want to thank you for coming out here, braving yourself, because you were just a bit under the weather, and how faithful you are. And we also are blessed by having T. Sterling Watson in the studio. And we have been having a good time. But before we get into the spectrum of sound excitement, because I like it. We want to thank God for all of our faithful people on the chat line on YouTube, and we miss Jerry very much. We'll be seeing him shortly. But someone from New Haven wrote to us that enclosed is a portion of our faith promise, and may God use it in the outreach of this marvelous radio station. Oh, and save and bless as many that listen. I've been listener since 1975. I'm so blessed by WIHS. It's on 24/7 in our home. A special blessing each morning, and hearing morning gills and skies and heart awakening cries, my Jesus be praised. Isn't that great? If you'd like to drop us a line, we'd love to hear from you. That's WIHS 1933 South Main Street, Middletown, Connecticut 06457. Or if you'd like to compose an email, please do so. And the address is office@wihsradio.org. Well, good morning, Jack Pike.
Good morning. It's great to be here, and great to have a T here next to us.
I know.
I was commenting. It's really great having him on with you.
Isn't it great?
Jerry's gone. I think it's really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we have fun. We learn.
Yeah.
And we set each other up. And, Jerry's doing things that he has to do, and we miss him. You know, we're a family here, aren't we, Jack?
We sure are.
And we tease each other a lot, okay, for all those that are on the chat line. I'll bet you already know that already. But we are servants. And, Jack, you've been doing this for a long time. When I first started working at 104.9, T, I'm telling you, Jack would be encouraging me as he'd be coming in the afternoon, and I was clueless because I was new, and it takes time to develop, right?
It does. I first started here in 1996, and I had about 6 years, so I don't know, 25 or plus years, but It does. A lot to learn. And, of course, technology has changed considerably from
Ask him.
when I
He's
started.
look at this. He's hooked up to reach
I mean, you know,
radio-free
Doing
Europe.
best I can. Doing best I can.
It's great having all our songs on computer. And when I started, we don't even have it here anymore. We had big reel-to-reels that you'd put up. And
I heard legend about those.
yeah, I know.
And they were archaic.
Oh, and our programs came on cassettes, so you had to bring them forward and cue them up for the programs. You know, it was just so much different
It
and
was
so
so
much
much.
nicer now. But it's
We're
still
spoiled. We got him.
I know, yeah. But it's still a blessing. And you talk about being a family, and you look around for T and for yourself and myself and others here. There's a lot of people who've been here for a long time, 25 years or more, working here, you know, steadily serving the Lord.
Well, we're like a pit bull with a 2-inch chain attached to a tree with a pork chop hanging in front of us. Okay, we're not going to let the devil get the victory, okay?
Exactly.
But I really want to hear about what's going on for this Saturday, Spectrum of Sound.
Yeah, people probably have heard me talk from time to time that I get a singing news magazine called Singing News, and it's a Southern Gospel magazine. And this Saturday, I'm playing the top 25 songs or top 10 songs or so of 2025. And as I said, I'm always kind of gratified to find out that a lot of them are ones that I have over the last year found, you know, and played on a Spectrum of Sound program. So it's a little bit of a reprise, if you will, of some of the songs, but a lot of good ones. I think you played Promo and Canny Cootie Woody and some
I love
really,
that.
really great songs.
Yeah.
Mark Trammell, Kingdom Heirs, which, you know, we have one person here who loves Kingdom Heirs, Al, and his wife, and who used to work, Judy, who used to work here.
Yes.
And
Good morning,
they love
Judy.
Kingdom Heirs, and a song like that. Ernie Haas, Signature Sound. So there's a lot of great songs on it. Yeah.
I'm telling you, we do have a good selection, and you always bring stuff. He does, doesn't he? And I love the way you set that up on YouTube, where the Jack Pike face up there, and each song comes out, and you have an LP sliding out of the album cover.
Honestly,
it is so awesome.
That's been fantastic, because prior to that, you know, I played the songs and I said where they were from and so on and so forth, but then I would give the station just a copy of what the playlist was in case people wanted. But now it's phenomenal.
We're spoiled.
It's phenomenal with the way it's set up and the album covers, and it's so professional, and it's so great to have that. And that's just, again, one of those things that we're doing here at WIHS to really just raise the bar, you know, on the technology and everything. So it's really good for listeners to be able to do that. Yeah.
Do you really think that today's Southern gospel music, there are a lot of conventional songs, okay, that we're familiar with.
Right.
Do you feel that it's changing? Do you think it's crossing over into a different genre, or is it staying, you know, first of all, praise God for the Gaithers. Okay, because when I first got saved, and I was involved in a gospel trio, and we did a lot of theirs, and a lot of the Lanny Wolf Trio, and the Lefevres, etc. So that has been built into me. But has the music changed somewhat?
I think Southern gospel in some ways has been the same as country. You get country stars who will do something that sounds contemporary. And it's the same thing with Southern gospel. You still have Southern gospel artists. But then when they go solo, one of the best examples is David Phelps.
Oh, yes.
Who has the most phenomenal tenor voice ever.
He was raised opera.
He was taught that. He was Gaither vocal band for years. He still comes to a lot of the Gaither homecoming stuff. But a lot of his newer stuff sounds pretty contemporary. And I think that's true with some. Now, when you get back to the quartets and the family groups, that's more Southern
and the
gospel.
bluegrass.
And the bluegrass.
Oh, yeah,
but
I got to
mention that. When you get back into
that
single
for my
artists,
husband.
there's a contemporary sound to it, you know. And you take, like, one of my really favorite groups is the Collingsworth family. and they're always featured in Southern
I have to
gospel stuff.
familiarize
If they're
myself
Kim
with them.
Collingsworth. You should sometime just Google them or something. They're just a phenomenal family group. But you're right. There has been some change in that, and so sometimes I'll play songs that sound to the listener may sound a little bit more contemporary, and but sometimes it's not only the artist, it's also the message. And and that's what it's supposed to be
and
about.
Jerry's even mentioned it, bless him. He and I agree on this. You listen to contemporary, there's all kinds of music out there, but you've got the country song on there. Someone will mention the Lord and the family, the family values, etc. And there is that little gospel flavor in a lot of country songs.
They usually many country artists will include a gospel song in their set. It's not uncommon for them to include a gospel because a lot of them are raised on it.
Yes, they are.
But
have been brought up
that way. But as you know, the lyrics for Southern gospel often talk about things personally that happen in people's lives, and then they relate that to the grace and mercy of the Lord, and lifting them up, and so that's what I like about it. That it often gets kind of personal, and I like that.
Well, in your library, you and I, T and I, we talk about the library of our music at different seasons of our lives. We listen to this. There was a season in the 80s where I listened to a lot of Ricky Skaggs, and bluegrass. And that's when my husband said, "You know what bluegrass is? Then you must be my wife." That's what he told me.
Ricky Skaggs is and the Kentucky Thunder
Yes,
Band. They've been featured on Gaither Homecoming.
He's
programs.
amazing.
Yeah.
But is there a different genre that you have loved prior to, or has that always been? Since you came shot out of the womb, you always loved the Southern gospel.
I do love classical.
I do too.
At home, I have several playlists with just classical stuff on it. So I do love classical. I mean, I was raised in the '60s, on all the upcoming Beatles, and that's how I learned to play drums and guitar. Was on Beatles stuff and things like that. But
I do have a question for you since you brought it up, and that was something Teresa and I talked about once.
Yeah.
Beatles or Rolling Stones, if you had to choose one?
Beatles.
Yeah. The love songs.
Yeah. Some of the Rolling Stones have been okay, but they've just never done much for me, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, my father, I was telling T this, when they were on the Ed Sullivan show, they was bad-mouthing them. I said, "Dad, I can't hear it," because I wasn't screaming for Elvis Presley. Yeah. Anyway, so later, all these years, then they had the symphony. We'd put on the symphony. So, my mother goes, "Oh, isn't that wonderful?" I said, "Mom, that's a Beatles song." She goes, "No, it's not." But my parents, they loved the country sound and the wholesome sound of that.
Yeah.
That and the big band era. But they love the country.
I do have a big variety in my playlists and at home, but I've never been into the metal, the heavy metal rock. That's never been anything that's really been my cup of tea, But
I'm to the Lord, I'm thankful that we have the genres of music that we play here.
Right.
And that when we do play Southern gospel music, it's encouraging.
Right.
It's faith building.
That's what I
And you're
find.
having a blue day, it becomes pink, yellow, and purple because it lifts your spirits up, and it gives you a toe a tapping. And every once in a while, you got to take one of those,
Well, I probably said this before, but when I put my programs together, I just don't, other than something like this where you're playing the top 10, I just don't randomly throw songs
I
in.
know.
I build.
You're
I usually
selective.
start with something we're talking about the cross and that the work of the cross and so on, and then going into our our life and our Christian walk, and then usually I end up with something talking about heaven and things like
Can
that.
I
So,
interject?
yeah.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
I agree with everything you say. My big brother, Jerry Williams, is on the Facebook Live. He said, love quartets. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another new day given to us by God.
Indeed.
He said those low-profile mics look really great.
They do. They do. I like them a lot. They're so much better.
And thank you, brother.
The
It's so
videographer
nice.
and producer, I also do like them very much. So
I know.
Yeah.
A lot less dodging around.
I have to,
I know.
and I said this on a program a few months ago, but I really gave a shout out to Terrell for what he was doing
I know.
on the website, the YouTube thing. So I do appreciate that very much. He puts a lot of work in here.
I know. Well, I want to thank you so much, Jack, for coming
Thank
by,
you.
but I do want to play your promo and exit you with a soft and sweet selection
You got
from the genre.
You got it. Hello, everyone. I'm Jack Pike, inviting you to join me Saturday afternoon for Southern Gospel Spectrum of Sound.
And he could he love, would he take, did he really, can he, could he, would he, yes he can he, could he, would he, did.
Cause you're my sunshine on a cloudy day. You're my rain when the clouds are away. Your love is constant, it's there all the time. No matter what the weather, your love is mine.
My name's already there.
Join me Saturday afternoon at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time right here at 104.9 WIHS.
Till I step inside the gate. Drawing from the well, drawing from the well, drawing from the well that will never run dry. Drinking living water, provided by my Father. Drawing from the well that will never run dry. There's a well where I'm living, eternal life it's given. It washes all the pain and care away. I'm standing in the flow, it's running through my soul, and its source will last forever and a day. And I'm drawing from the well, drawing from the well, drawing from the well that will never run dry. Drinking living water, provided by my Father.
WIHS is excitedly planning our Holy Land tour for September of 2026, a 9-day trip to Israel that will make the Bible and our faith come alive. If you'd like to join us in walking where Jesus walked, it will change you. The WIHS Holy Land Tour in September of 2026 is an opportunity to make an investment into your spiritual life, and you will never be the same. Space is limited to 45 people on a first-come, first-served basis. For more information and to add your name to the list of those interested, call us at 860-346-1049 or click the WIHS 2026 Holy Land Tour link on our homepage at wihsradio.org.
Whether you're investing, saving, paying off debt, going to college, or buying a new car, God's wisdom can guide our decisions as we're seeking to live as faithful, selfless stewards to advance His kingdom. I am Rob West, host of Faith and Finance. Listen each day as I take your calls at 800-525-7000 on any financial topic. It's Faith and Finance, where our faith defines our financial decisions. Weekday afternoons at 104 on 104.9 WIHS.
Welcome to Breakpoint, a daily look at an ever-changing culture through the lens of unchanging truth. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet. A proposed law from the Colorado State General Assembly would, and I quote, require the statewide decriminalization of commercial sexual activity among consenting adults. The bill would repeal the state criminal offenses of prostitution, soliciting for prostitution, keeping a place of prostitution, patronizing a prostitute, and prostitute-making display, end quote. If passed, Colorado would join Nevada as the only other state to fully legalize and regulate so-called commercial sexual activity. Now, when one steps back and asks, how did we get here? Two answers are offered. The first is a demographic shift that has brought, according to Aaron Wren in City Journal, California-style blue governance. Quote, migration from California, he wrote, has helped change Colorado from a liberation-infected reddish state into a solid blue one. And now blue Colorado is starting to turn into California, end quote. But in fact, starting is just not the right word here. Colorado is already one of the most progressive states in the nation, and the real shifts came at the hands of libertarians, not Californians. After all, combined registered Republican and independent voters heavily outnumber registered Democrats in Colorado. So the real story of the state is how many voters have been wooed by promises of personal autonomy, and that somehow these promises would be delivered by an ever-expanding government. This new proposed law and the lawmakers who sponsored it are just the latest byproducts of a worldview that's been in operation for some time. After delivering to Colorado legalized weed, doctor-assisted suicide, and even magic mushrooms, we're now sold exploitation as sexual freedom. And that points to the second ingredient in the Colorado social experiment. This law is yet another attempt to reshape a culture through language. The title of the proposed law, Decriminalizing Commercial Sexual Activity Among Consenting Adults. By renaming prostitution, Colorado lawmakers are attempting to normalize seedy, unsafe, and biblically speaking, sinful behavior. It's a move that mirrors similar actions in other areas. Terms like gender-affirming care and reproductive health equity were just ways to destigmatize mutilation, often of minors, and the murder